Well, good morning, everyone. Here we are on February 5th. February the 5th already. Wow. So we pray this will be a quick month, cold month, but a quick month. We'll get that much closer to spring soon. So, intimacy. It's what we talk a lot about in our church. The fact that we've been called to intimacy with God, that is His purpose for us. Jesus came to make that all possible. And many of us ignore the fact. We're glad to accept salvation. That's our ticket for glory, our ticket for eternity. And we don't much consider the relationship that we've been called to. And today we see with Moses, God was very clear that to the nation of Israel that he had raised them. They were his precious people. Of all the nations, he had chosen them. But they were chosen among all the nations that he had created. We sometimes see it as a chosen people that are particular to him, and he doesn't care about anybody else. But that's not what they were chosen to be, a nation of priests to represent him before all the other nations, who he also loved and cared for. And then it came to the time of the reveal. It's when we read it this morning, it's like, okay, people, come along. I want to introduce you to Yahweh. This was what Moses was doing. You stay at the bottom here, and you're going to hear his voice. You're going to hear him talking to me, and I want you to get to know him. And that was God's choice. That was the instruction that God had given to Moses, because he wanted to draw the people into greater intimacy, step by step. When they heard the voice, when they saw the demonstration of power just by God's presence there, they backed off. They stood at a distance and they said, no, it's okay. You can represent us, Moses. God can talk to you and we'll listen to what you say to us. And so there was the rejection of the intimacy. And so what we find is we find that it's the descendants of Aaron that are chosen as priests instead of the whole nation being priests. It's the descendants of Aaron who become the priests, and the Levites who become the assistants to the priests. So this is a mistake that we can't repeat, but we have repeated, because in the process of the history of the church, there are two things happened. Powerful people took leadership and dominance over people, but the people who are referred to as the royal priesthood also gave up that to these powerful people, and they were glad to do it. Oh, you want to be in charge? Sure, we're glad to have you in charge. You want to represent us before God? Sure, you represent us before God. It makes it easier for us. And so we ended up with the clergy, which doesn't exist in the church, but yet it is there, and it's not right. And it allows for laziness. It allows for us to step back and allow other people. See, we have no other mediator. There is no other priest. We have one high priest, and that's Jesus Christ. We have one mediator, and that's Jesus Christ. There is nobody else who represents us before God. We have direct access. This is the intimacy that we've been called into, and that we need to be living and practicing every single day, not just when we feel like it, not just when we're desperate. Every single day, developing this relationship, drawing closer, learning more, serving better. Every day, He is our life. I've been crucified with Christ, and I no longer live. I no longer live. But Christ lives through me. That is the relationship we've been called to. So I want to encourage you in that. as the effects of the fast are wearing off, senses are coming back, and we're getting a little more heightened in our awareness of the spirit. It seems a weird thing that we go into a fast for greater intimacy, and there are those who do experience that, but a lot of people also experience a distance. But that's okay, because he's still doing this incredible thing. And when you come out of the fast, that's when you're discovering that there's greater intimacy, you have greater understanding, and there's all this wonderful stuff that is happening. This is the fruit of the fast that is taking place. So you be blessed in this day. Open yourself up to be used by him. And I pray that you will discover great wealth in the intimacy that he's called us to. God bless.